What is up, guys? I'm Cody, the dude of cinema, and the day has come for my review of Justice League. I am so excited to talk about this movie with you guys. I've actually seen it twice now. I have just been waiting so long to talk about it with you guys, but it's just I've had so much going on lately and I've been working a lot, but I finally have the time to sit here and talk about it with you. So just like every single review, I'm just going to give you my pros, I'm going to give you my cons, I'm going to give you my overall score. Don't worry, this review is going to be spoiler free. I'm not going to give away any spoilers in case you haven't seen it yet, because there is a lot that they haven't shown you, so I definitely don't want to spoil it. And stay away from spoilers on the internet because they are floating around. As you guys know, this movie had, a bit of a bumpy road to get to where it is now. There was a lot of behind the scenes drama if you guys had been following it. If not, you guys probably have no idea, but there was a lot of behind the scenes drama. Honestly, at first everything started off well. The movie started shooting right when BVS was released. Eventually they had that set visit and everything that they showed was actually very well received. A lot of people really enjoyed it and were really excited about it. Zack Snyder shot all of the movie. He did all the principal photography. But then, of course, he suffered a personal tragedy, had to step away from the project, and Joss Whedon, who had already been working on some script pages on the movie, did the reshoots, came in and finished the post-production. So it's kind of a blend of two visions, but in my opinion, this still is a Zack Snyder movie. It's a good blend for sure, but for the most part, it does feel like a Zack Snyder movie. But not only that, then you had the Henry Cavill drama that blew up with his mustache and everything like that, and how they're going to digitally remove it and how that much was going to cost and da-da-da-da-da. There was just so much behind the scenes drama, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. You guys know I'm a DC fan. I don't hide that. I really love DC. I love the characters. And I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. I'm going to give you guys my honest review. I've seen it twice now, and I'm going to be completely honest. I really, really, really love this movie. Even though it had all that behind-the-scenes drama, if you just shut all of that out and you just watch the movie, there is so much good there. I just had a constant smile on my face the entire time I was watching it. Literally, the entire movie, I had just a huge smile on my face. There were several moments where the crowd was just cheering during the movie, especially at the end. There's just so much good here. Is it a masterpiece? No, but it wasn't trying to be. And what it was trying to be was just a great team-up movie, and that's exactly what it accomplished, because what works best with this movie is its characters. The characters are the shining stars of this movie, and that's what they were going for, because they introduced 3 new characters: Cyborg, The Flash, and Aquaman. So you had to get people behind these characters and excited to see them, and they did an amazing job with that. They nailed the characters, literally. The casting is perfect. Ben Affleck kills it again as Batman. Henry Cavill as Superman. I'll talk about that later. Gal Gadot, of course, is always amazing as Wonder Woman. Ezra Miller killed it as the Flash. He was hilarious. He was so great as the Flash. He really made the character his own. He brought something new to the table to Barry Allen, and I really, really appreciated it. He did a great job. And so did Ray Fisher as Cyborg. He was honestly phenomenal. He was a little bit more of the serious tone of the movie, because he's a very conflicted character. He's constantly changing. There's all this stuff going on in his body and in his head that he doesn't understand. And he has all these abilities now. He's lost pretty much all of his body. He's very conflicted, and I think they captured that part of his character very, very well. The chemistry between the characters is definitely there. There is such good chemistry between them. The banter and just the way that they bounce off each other dialogue-wise is amazing. There are so many great character moments in this movie, and that's really some of my favorite parts. Just the dialogue, just them, when they're conflicting, when they're butting heads, and then also when they're just working together. Just all around, they did a great job at capturing this team's essence, and you really feel, them struggling at first, but then they really do come together and find it in them to work together to really take this threat down. And I really think that they capture that well. Also, the story is very simple, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. Yes, there is a lot cut out, and I'll get to that later. But, I think it was overall for the better, because the story did feel very coherent. It felt very direct, and you knew what was going on. The plot was very simple. It's very easy for general audiences to follow, as opposed to Batman v Superman, where there was a lot going on. But this is very, a lot more straightforward. Of course, there was that mandate set on the movie that it had to be 2 hours, so of course that affected it as well, the scenes that were cut out. But overall, I thought the pacing was actually pretty good. It wasn't terrible. I actually thought that it was really well paced for it being only 2 hours. In the beginning, it is a little jumpy because there's a lot to cover, but it was very easy to follow. Like I said, there was never a time where I was like, wait, what? When it cut to a scene, it made sense. It propelled the story forward. So, in my opinion, at least, the pacing wasn't very bad. Now, let me talk about Steppenwolf, because Steppenwolf has been a lot there's been a lot of controversy surrounding him, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I really liked him. He was, you know, he's not a memorable villain. He's no General Zod, but he is a good villain. You know, he served his purpose for the story, and he was menacing. I mean, anyone who says he's not menacing, I think is lying, or they just didn't really care for him at all, which I completely respect, but I think he was very menacing. He definitely posed a threat to the League. When he was on screen, he didn't care. He wasn't there to waste time, and they even addressed that in the movie. He's just there to get his mother boxes and set his plan in motion. He will kill anyone and anything that gets in his way. So I really liked that aggressive, intense aspect of him. And I mean, like, his motivation is there. It's not, you know, layers deep, but it's there. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of understand what he's doing. He's trying to, like, find his place among the new gods, you know, and he's trying to prove himself. So you see his motivation, and he's very old, he's very ancient. And I thought the actor that portrayed him, I don't remember, it's like Kieran Hines, I believe his name is. He did a very, very good job. Like, I thought his voice work was very well, and his motion capture work was done very well. I personally think the CGI wasn't terrible. A lot of people think it's horrendous. I thought the up-close shots of him actually looked very detailed, very well done. I mean, you can tell they put a lot of time into it, and I personally think for the most part he looked very good. Another thing I really liked about this movie is that the subplots weren't too convoluted, and they made sense because they were about each character, and they kind of helped to set up each character and introduce general audiences to them to kind of let you know something crazy happened to this person that gave him abilities. And I think that they did a good job without having to like spoon feed all the information to the audience, because all the comic book fans already know how these characters got to where they are. Maybe some of the general audience, and a lot of them probably don't. But they did a very good job at, you know, kind of hinting that something happened to them. And I think that it was a good idea to not go full on with their origins in this movie, because that leaves some room for them to show more of it in their solo movies, whether it be in flashbacks, dreams, whatever. It leaves them options for their solo movies. It made sense. Like, you understood what they were dealing with. You know, Barry with his father, Cyborg with himself and just trying to find his place in the world, Bruce with his guilt and what he, you know, from his actions of Batman v Superman, and same with Wonder Woman, you know, with her, everything that she had to deal with in the past centuries. Aquaman too, he's dealing with things with Atlantis and where his place is in the world. So each character has their own conflicts going on within the plot, and it didn't take away from the main story. It all came together very nicely, in my opinion. Like I said, it was very well paced and edited for the most part. Like, it all came together very nicely. Now, obviously, it's a Zack Snyder movie. You know, the visuals are there. The action scenes are amazing. There are so many moments, you guys, that I just smile. I'm smiling right now thinking about it. Like, there are so many cool moments in this movie. Like, so many badass moments that Snyder just nailed. I love his visual style and just the way he even used it in this film. It's amazing, you guys. I just wait till you see it. And if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. There are just so many great moments, so many great fanboy moments that, just like I said, had our theater cheering. And that leads me into my last thing here for my pros, and that is, of course, Superman. Oh my gosh, you guys. Superman. Yeah. He's in it. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, he is spectacular in this. Henry Cavill is so good as this character. I mean, just seeing his evolution from Man of Steel to here, how he was so confused and lost with his place in the world. He didn't know where he belonged, and now he's so confident and strong, and oh, it's so great. I love the way they captured Superman in this movie. It's amazing. I really think you guys are gonna like it, especially if you're a huge Superman fan like myself. Now, like I said, this movie isn't perfect. There are a couple issues that I have with it, but none of them are glaring at all, to be honest. Like, they're not really big. I think the biggest flaw of this movie was the mandate. I think the mandate is what hurt this movie the most. I think that this movie, if any of the DCEU movies should have been longer than 2 hours, it was Justice League. I mean, you could see that there was so much more that they wanted to tell with the story, and a lot of it was cut out. I mean, I'm not going to lie. A lot of the scenes in the trailers you do not see in the theatrical cut of the film. I don't know if that means they're going to do an ultimate cut on Blu-ray. I mean, it makes sense because the home sales for BVS were really good, and I think for Wonder Woman as well. So it would make sense that they're going to do an ultimate cut too, because it's kind of like you get to see the movie twice again. So I think that's pretty cool. But then at the same time, it's like, why hire a director and give him all this money to, you know, and all this time to bring his vision to life if you're just going to cut a lot of it out? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But it wouldn't surprise me if we get an extended cut. And I can tell you right now that this isn't 100% what I think Zack Snyder had in mind for his final vision of the film. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because I think what they delivered us was very good. It was solid. Like I said, it was a perfect blend. Also, some of the CGI was a little bit shaky. It didn't really take me out of the movie at all. It's just something that I noticed, because like a lot of people are comparing it to like Batman v Superman, and I think that's a little bit unfair, and Man of Steel, because both of those movies I feel had more time, to get done, and they weren't constricted by that mandate. Batman v Superman got pushed back, which gave it so much more time to get worked on. Like, they had so much time to polish up every little visual effect. So that's why I feel like those special effects are just phenomenal. I'm really excited to see what they do, like with the Flash solo movie, with the Cyborg solo movie eventually when we get it, and Aquaman, of course, since that is the next movie we're going to be getting. I'm really, really hyped for that movie after seeing Atlantis. I think it's going to be really, really dope, and there's a lot we haven't seen yet. I know that, so I'm super stoked to see more of Aquaman. But yeah, guys, in terms of cons, that's really it. Like, just the mandate and some of the CGI was a little bit shaky. Like I said, the whole mustache thing, the Cavill mustache thing, didn't bother me in the slightest, especially the second time that I saw it. Like, it really didn't bother me whatsoever. There were times where I didn't really notice it at all. So, I mean, I think they did a really good job with the time that they had with it. I think it looks really good. And those general audience members that don't know any of that behind the scenes drama aren't going to really notice it at all, I don't think, personally. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the mandate constricted this film the most. I think it should have been a lot longer. I hope we get an extended cut. And some of the CGI was a little but overall it was really, really good, you guys. I really, really love this movie. It is a fun, yes, fun. It is a fun, badass team-up movie where we get to see all these great characters shine. Every character has their amazing moment. This is like a love letter to DC fans and just the audience. They're like, we know that these are the heroes you guys want to see, and so here they are. And here they are in all their glory for you to enjoy. And I loved it. I can't wait to go back and see it a third time, probably a fourth time too. Like, I'm really going to support this movie because every time I think about it, I just smile. Like I said, I had a huge smile on my face during the entire movie. Don't leave, stay till the end credits, because the post-credit scenes definitely, they drew a lot of cheers from the crowd. So definitely stay for those. But yeah, guys, I've thought a lot about this. I honestly have, and I don't care. I'm going to give Justice League a 9 out of 10. I really, really, really enjoy this movie. Like, I really thought about the score, and I want to have it at a 9. Like, that's what my body's telling me. That's what I feel the movie is to me. That's just my opinion. Like, I really think this movie is that good. For everything that happened behind the scenes, they truly delivered something great. It is so worth your time. Go watch Justice League. But yeah, guys, that is my review of Justice League. Let me know if you guys saw the film down in the comments below. I would love to know your thoughts about it. Please try to keep it spoiler free for those who haven't seen it yet. If you didn't like it, I totally respect that. Let me know why you didn't like it. If you loved it, let me know why you loved it. But like I said, try to keep it spoiler free. Keep it kind down there. Don't be brutal to each other. Throw me a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.